Hi everybody and welcome to this general playthrough for Pro and Expert Division in the Snow Mountain 9-hole cup here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. Please give me a thumb up on the video and make sure you subscribed as well, helps me out a lot. Replays and adjustments for all 9 holes, bear in mind these are general wind directions only, not indicative of tournament directions at all, so you may need to tweak some of the spins and adjustments based on the tournament wind you may have, but they'll give you an idea of the type of approaches you may need to make according to these new hole locations on Grunberg slopes. If you're playing expert, please check the channel on Thursday and Saturday for qualifying and final round tournament wind guides here on the channel. Here we go then with hole number 1. On this par 4, you're going to want to play with 4.5 topspin and 2 or 3 side spin to the right, depending what balls you want to use. You want to aim down the middle of that fairway there. The idea here is not to roll too far though, so even though I started with 4.5, I dialed it back to 4 topspin. So I want to be able to play with the thorn rather than a wedge for the second shot. So aiming down the middle there, 4 top, 2 right spin. Obviously, you may need more top spin in headwind than you'd set further back. But here I want to play max plus 10. Either the extra mile, Thor's hammer or Apocalypse, go with whichever gives you distance and accuracy alongside, of course, the top spin. But we don't need to go overboard with the top spin here. On this hole, you can either write down your drive distance and dial in your adjustments based on the wind direction you have, or you can play rings from min with the thorn, which is what I choose to do with my next shot. Perfect ball away, and the drive distance here is going to be around 345 to 355 yards. Second shot, I'm playing rings from min. Because there is tailwind, though, I need to make sure I push up a little bit. Make sure you avoid any glitchy spots here. Depending where you are with your drive, you'll see that ball guide glitches, so just add some spin to get round any glitchy areas where this new pin location stands. Ball guide to the hole, 2 backspin, and we're playing here with rings from min minus 10% elevation because generally this plays uphill. So it's 1% ring from min, 1% slider per ring from min. So if you push up 5 rings, you play 5% slider. You push up 10 rings, you play 10% slider, and so on. But once you've found a nice consistent landing spot, a thorn approach here can have a very good chance for an eagle, regardless of the wind direction that you may face. On the second hole, I'm going to show you a big topper, max topspin approach on the right-hand side, but you can blast it on the left-hand side as well. There's a few ways that you can approach this one. Max topspin, 1 left spin, aim down the middle of the fairway. We're going to adjust max plus 10. Power 3 settings, I'm using a power 3 ball. If you've got high-level APOC or Thor's hammer, you could play with that as well. Gives you more distance. May not be as much topspin, but it's much more accurate as well. But you just want to get down there. In tailwind with high wind, of course, you can put a berserker on, play no movement target, and play down the left-hand side, try and get into thorn range as well. If you want to be aggressive, you've got a few options here. So max plus 10 on the drive down the right-hand side, getting a nice distance of 380 yards. Second shot, I'm playing true club distance here, 0 elevation as a general guide. But like I said, you may need to tweak the setup here according to the wind direction that you're dealing with. Leaving the ball guide short intentionally because of tailwind, applying backspin and right spin. We used to play a rough bump here, but with pin being much more on the left of the green, this now really isn't very possible unless you've got a high side spin stat ball. So I'm going to be playing the bounce down here. You can also play this bounce down on the left-hand side, either sniper, or if you get enough distance on your drive, you could be playing max long iron as well. But here I'm finding my true club distance, estimating it from min and max, and playing 0 elevation. Perfect ball away. We'll see how this one comes in. It will need a tweak, and of course this is something you'd need to dial in a tournament scenario anyway, but the speed is good, just curling away there to the right-hand side. Hole number 3 is nasty. It's very difficult with this pin on the left to attack with the sniper from the right-hand side. The rough bump is going to be the way forward, but you've got to hit perfect, and this is worth a token or two to try and dial this one in. Aiming there with the quarterback in the middle of the snow patch, and then we're adding spin, leaving the ball guide short in tailwind because that is going to push us a little bit. I play 1-to-1 here, so 7.1 in wind, going to be 7.1 rings, but this is not going to be the case in all wind angles. You will need to vary the adjustment. If you have wind from right to left, and especially cross or headwind, you adjust to a lower point, so you need to factor that in as well. There's a lot of elements to this shot, but just giving you an idea of the type of approach you might want to play if you want to attack the pin for the hole-in-one on hole 3. Thankfully, hole number 4 plays the same as it always has done. Admittedly, you're just aiming at a different part of the green for your approach. So we're going to go with top spin and right spin. This is a precision drive, really. Any great balls here may clip the rough or end up in the rough on the left. So this is one you have to hit perfect on. We're going to play max plus 10 on this one, setting up with the extra mile 8 at max distance. But again, other drivers would work as well. You don't have to have the extra mile 8. No curl in this wind angle, but if you have wind from right to left, I would play with a bit of right curl. Otherwise, the wind may well push you into the rough up ahead on the left. But getting a good roll out here, approaching that corner of fairway, is going to set you up with a thorn short iron shot. So 395 yards. Here, with this wind angle, I'm playing true club distance, 5% elevation. You might need to tweak that to between 0 and 10, varying depending what wind angle you have, but estimating my club distance between min and max, and then adjusting my slider value based on that. We've got more information on using the slider and playing true club distance, min, mid and max on the Academy tutorial home page. No spin approach works really well on this hole. It always has done, and it continues to do so here with the new pin placement. So a good adjustment here with your club distance dialed in, or with yardage notes or fringe checks during the tournament, will get you in very nicely for an eagle with a perfect. Hole number 5, crosswind or headwind you can play at this part of the rough. If you have any tailwind, if it's a hint of tailwind, you'd need to set up further along to the right-hand side. But you've got a good chance here. If it's predominantly tailwind, then I will be playing with the Guardian instead and bouncing with max backspin, trying to approach the pin from the far side. Spin as shown, leaving the ball guide where I need to, depending on the wind angle. If you've got headwind, you want that slightly through the hole. If it's a little bit of tailwind, you'll want it a bit short of the cup. Playing it 1-on-1 here. So 6.5 wind, going 6.5 rings. Like I said, a power 1 ball, wind 5 would be good if you have predominantly tailwind or cross tailwind. It will give you a bit more room to adjust, because you're near min club there if you set up too far near the tee. Almost in for the hole-in-one, but that's the best chance on this par 3. Hole 6, we're going to go with max top spin and 2 right spin. You can play this with a big topper and a berserker, but for accuracy, the extra mile 8 is a little bit better. This is going to be a safe eagle, very tough to attack the pin for the albatross here. It is possible you might need a higher power ball though, and push the drive a little bit harder. We're going max plus 10, pushing back up to max because distance is the key on this long par 5. Perfect ball away there off the tee, and this will bounce very nicely towards the end of the first piece of fairway. Be wary of great balls here. The fairway is a little bit narrow, as you could see there on that second bounce, but we get a good drive of around 415 yards. Second shot, we're going to play with the big dog or the Cataclysm, unless you've gone with a power 5 ball and you might be able to attack the pin with a sniper. But if not, play safely to the green with backspin and left spin. Setting up near max distance, well in fact it's at max distance here, and we're going to go max plus 10, power 3 settings. Like I said, the curl and the setup here may vary depending on the wind. You just want to get it safely to green here, unless you've obviously gone with a higher power ball to go with the sniper. So max plus 10, pushing the rings, because with this wind angle the trees are going to be in the way. Just getting my adjustments sorted there, pushing the rings, and here we might need to tweak the backspin. Easy to come in too hot here, and we don't want to do that. No curl needed. I was aiming pretty much at the pin, but you'll see here it's a little bit on the pacey side. Thankfully, the slope at the back of the green saves me. And I just curl back down towards the pin, but we're going to get a very nice eagle with the putt there. Hole number 7, setting up with a basic ball because I don't want to apply any side spin. So going with half a bar of top spin, then switching to a navigator. This has always been a brilliant chance for a hole-in-one, and really the pin has just been moved a few green squares to the left. White ring touching the rough, aiming deliberately left of pin because the wind angle is pointing a little bit to the right. And then we're going to adjust mid plus 25. That adjustment will vary depending on the wind angle. This is a wind angle specific adjustment. You might need a little bit more in level crosswind and definitely in cross headwind, but this approach is still a very, very good chance, subject of course to any tweaks you may need. So setting up with a basic ball, applying true top spin only, no side spin accidentally, which is why I do that, as otherwise it's very easy to add some without realising it with any other ball. But that falls nicely, brilliant chance for the hole-in-one. Hole 8, yes, you can send it in tailwind with a berserker, but I'm going to show you a no movement target layup if you have an unsavoury wind angle with the rock. So 3.9 topspin, no move target, no side spin, just adjust max plus 0, which for the rock level 7 plus is going to be 1-on-1 actually. So 6.8, we're going to adjust 6.8 rings. Then we take our shot with a perfect minor great left, minor great right, both safe as well, due to the brilliant accuracy that this club offers. And the ball just curls round to the right nicely. It's not going to threaten the rough though. Drive distance of around 305 yards. From there we can play minimum distance sniper. Either 20 or 25% is what I would play here generally, and we're using spin to get the ball guide just through the hole because of the headwind angle. In my case, about 4 backspin and 1 left spin, but it will vary depending on your wind angle and the position after your drive. Min plus 25, pack the grizzly so you can find the minimum distance line nice and easily with the sniper. Of course, if the tailwind is there off the tee, then I would recommend you go full blast with a berserker, as much topspin as you can without overshooting the green, of course. Get yourself putting or a simple wedge for the eagle. Decent chance here though, even with a layup. Just needed a small tweak with catching the left edge on this par 4. And finally, hole 9, we're going to play on the left-hand side with a top spin and left spin. About 4.5 top spin, 2 left spin. If you have more crosswind, I would up the top spin a bit to maybe 5.5 or 6 with a power 3 ball. And we're going to set up here at plus 14 because I'm showing you this can be done with an extra mile 6. Max plus 10, and then I'm going to push up a few yards here. In the end, I push up 9 yards or 2 rings, give myself a bit more distance, and I'm going full overpower with a slightly slower needle. No curl, doesn't matter about the great right. I'm just showing you this here because you've got plenty of fairway to aim at. So even though it's near enough full overpower, shaky needle, you've still got room either side and you'll have a clear view of the pin. Second shot, we're going to play the bounce down for the albatross. You can play a rough bump as well. It's a little thin patch of rough, so I would recommend a token or two. But if you don't fancy that, then play your safe shot down to the green for the eagle with an outside chance of albatross. Backspin and right spin as shown, leaving the ball guide intentionally short because the tailwind will do the rest of the work. Here I play 10% of elevation based on where I am with my club. So find the min line, find the max and estimate it, or you can count up rings from min if you've not dialed in with the pin check or a fringe check or anything like that. But you're going to have a good approach, either the rough bump or the bounce down. Both have got excellent chances at a drop. I would say the rough bump is a little bit more risky though if you haven't dialed in your adjustments. So just be advised on that one. But here, true club distance plus 10, we hit perfect. Bounces very nicely, clearly away from the rough. The spin and the tailwind does the rest of the work, and we actually drop this in for an albatross on hole 9. Thank you very much for watching this video on the Snow Mountain 9-hole cup here on the channel. Don't forget you can join us on Facebook as well. Totally free to join, over 11,000 members. Free guides are posted there across all the divisions on a regular basis, and the shot sharing and discussion points as well. Come and interact with me and the rest of the members over there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.